You can't say illegals anymore because ICE is directly targeting legal citizens of this country. And how
are you going to enforce your edict on me, just out of curiosity?
This kid, his name is Cameron Kasky. I interviewed him once years ago. He was one of the survivors, actually, from the Parkland shooting here in Florida that everyone remembers, because that was the one that CNN then did that town hall where the kids all started yelling at Dana Loesch and I think it was maybe Rubio or a few other people. Really, it just got incredibly heated because I know it's hard to track all these shootings, unfortunately. In any event, he apparently has moved to New York City. He's a young kid. He's in his early, maybe 23, something like that, and is running for Congress in New York. He went on Abby Phillips' show, and they got into it with Scott Jennings. Take a look.
I recognize
you don't get
you
to say the word illegals anymore.
And you have.
The percentage.
Who are you to tell me what I can and can't? I've never met you, brother. Listen, I can say whatever I want. They're illegal aliens, and that's what the law calls them, illegal aliens. That's what I'm going to call them.
Right. Listen, you can't say illegals anymore because ICE is directly targeting legal citizens of this country. And how
are you going to enforce your edict on me, just out of curiosity?
Listen, I understand.
But just listen to his point about illegals.
No, I want to know why he gets to instruct
You're changing the topic.
Hang on.
I want to know.
You're making a point
about
people being arrested.
I understand that your job is predicated on just getting increasingly more demented every single week, and that the audience comes back to see if perhaps
make your point.
My point is that you're saying the word illegals, but you don't even really know what's happening. Or actually, I think you do, and you're doing this on purpose. But
yes,
the truth
because
is,
I want the law enforced.
They are not just targeting illegal immigrants. They are targeting natural-born U.S. citizens.
They are not.
That is a fact. You cannot deny that. I mean, you can on national television.
They are
deny
not.
facts all the time.
First off, I just want to say, I mean, we all have the same feelings on what goes on those panel shows, and it's pure drivel. And Scott Jennings, who I had on my show a week ago, he's doing an incredibly bang-up job of remaining, sane and having composure and laying out facts with a bunch of hysterical children who do want to police his language. That kid, and that's what he is a kid. He's so emblematic of everything wrong with the Democrats right now. Self-righteous, doesn't know what he's talking about, and running for office with no qualifications. He's never had a real job. He's never done anything. I'm glad that he was a survivor rather than a victim of the shooting, but that doesn't mean you should be a congressman. And as you just pointed out, Drew, illegal alien is a legal term. And we checked the numbers, and Joseph's going to double check it for me right now, but we read it on my show a couple of days ago. We have now deported over 700,000 people. 170 legal Americans have been detained, usually for less than an hour, because they got caught up in a situation, meaning they were with someone in a car with them, with an illegal or something else. But zero Americans have been deported. Zero. So everything he said there was a lie, but he overly emotes perfectly. Then he has a bunch of other Democrats on the panel who don't know what they're saying, try to defend him. I mean, it's just perfect storm of everything, Sage.
I'm so glad that you ran that clip because I watched it twice, just dumbfounded. And I also saw on Twitter today, on X, I think it was, how is Scott Jennings the only person in mainstream media that represents more than half of America? Like he's the only one, and God bless him, and he has a new book out, and you should read it. It's great, but it's incredible. And then, by the way, sidebar, his body language with his expression, this guy's like, and he sits back and lets him go. It's just, and they're all just so like, oh my God, like to me, the whole pure entertainment, and God bless Scott Jennings. I'm in the process of moving into a house here in Nashville, and across the street, and I want some advice. Across the street, there's I knew by looking at him. So here we go with me being judgy. I knew by looking at him, I was like, oh, he's not going to like us. And and then we show up today, and on his front porch is a sign that says, immigrants welcome with hearts. And so I thought, I'm going to get a sign that says, legal immigrants welcome, with a bigger heart and an American flag right next to it with the light on it, as it should always be. Like this stuff is go ahead. I know, Dave.
Well, might I offer another sign?
You got to report on it next week.
Yeah, that is an interesting idea for a sign, but I have a different sign for you, Sage. How about illegal immigrants welcome across the street? And just send them in, because if he's so welcoming, I'm going to assume he doesn't have a lock on his door and he doesn't have a fence and he wants to feed everybody. So let's help make it happen. The more the merrier.